Josh here from the Mental Notes, and in this video, we're going to talk about why we don't pedestalize women. All right, this was a hard one for me, to be totally honest, because growing up in a home where my dad really wasn't around and I didn't have healthy male role models showing me what relationships should look like, I ultimately just fell towards whatever it was society was telling me to do. I grew up loving girls. People say when I was in school, they'd be like, "So, who is it that you like?" And I'd be like, "I like all of them." And I did. I honestly like all of them. But nobody really told me what to do with those emotions growing up. And nobody really told me how to interact with emotions inside of a relationship. And when I was in a religious school, what they told me was is that you need to make her happy. You need to make her the priority in your life. You need to be the one showing her how amazing she is. And I have read before in The Superior Man that the feminine energy rises off praise. I think we need to get into this and unpack it a little bit to understand what that means. Because praising someone doesn't mean that we are pedestalizing them. In order for a woman to be happy within her relationship, she needs to look up to her man. Women essentially are hypergamous. Women instinctively marry upwards, date, have sex, whatever it is. They're going to marry or date a man that they think that they can receive the best from. Many years ago, during hunter-gatherer times, a woman would need care provision from a man to survive. She wanted to have the best offspring possible. She wanted to be protected. And it's because of this a woman is looking to date upwards. So what happens when a man starts to pedestalize his woman is that the opposite situation happens. Now, take a look at the Disney world. Take a look at media in the way that media has always conveyed situations and relationships. You always have this charming prince who comes to try to get the princess. You have sitcoms where the husband is an idiot and the woman is the intelligent one. This is the way that media has been portraying relationships. Because this is the way that media has been portraying relationships, it's influenced the way that men see themselves in relationships. It's created men that will automatically put themselves at lower levels than the women that they're with. And he says, "You take the lead, you decide. I can't leave my house without asking my wife." He says, "Oh, gee, I'm so happy that my wife let me invite all my friends over in order to watch the UFC." Do you understand what this is? It's that men are automatically putting themselves in lower position than the woman, a woman who naturally is hypergamous. So if a man is doing that, he's putting himself below a woman in that sense. A woman that's already naturally hypergamous, well, that's obviously going to create a situation where she's not going to look up to him. She's going to look down on him. It's going to ruin the attraction. It's a very common situation where you have men that will do that. The media has brainwashed us as children to communicate to us that we need to give our hearts, give them gifts in order for them to love us, that we need to do anything that they tell us to do in order for them to see us in a positive light. It causes disinterest. And automatically, the woman is going to be interested in a man that doesn't give her that. Women instinctively want to have guys that they can look up to. A woman wants a man that can lead himself. And this is why she's going to test him throughout the relationship. The more that he changes himself for her, the more her trust will wane, the more her trust in him will go down, the more her attraction to him will go down. It's something that most of us don't realize. Because you have to understand a woman is going to do this throughout a relationship, regardless if anyone tells her to do it or not to do it. A woman that is more traumatized will seek more. She will test more. And a woman that is less traumatized or more healthy will also test less. But every woman is going to do that. Some people call this betatization of 1,000 concessions. Is that the woman is constantly seeking concessions from her man. And you see this where it transforms relationships into just these terrible situations to see if he's really got the balls to be him, if he's really as centered as he is really as strong as he is. But the testing doesn't stop. And that testing continues until she's chopped away, and that tree falls. And when that tree falls, the relationship is down. A woman is always going to be happier when she needs to work for her man, when she needs to work for the relationship, when she looks up to him. This is the nature of relationships. This is the nature of female psychology. I hope you guys can see this. Try looking back in your relationships. Try looking back in your interactions with women and see, where have I erred? Where have I allowed a woman to come into my life? And where have I conceded to her? consessed. I don't know what the word is. Where in my life have I not passed these tests? Where in my life have I not had strong enough frame in my relationship that she's taken over? This is why I talk about frame all the time. Frame is how I live my life. Frame is my habits. Frame is what I enjoy doing. Frame is the way I get up in the morning and I interact with myself. You could really only be living in one person's frame and not the other. Either she's living in your frame or you're living in hers. The reality is that if you are living in your woman's frame, the relationship will eventually dissipate. She will eventually become resentful for you, and she will not even know why she's resentful for you. She will eventually become angry with you. Where have I lost myself and who I am to this relationship? Because you're going to be able to see when you look at that, those are the same relationships where she probably has left you, where she probably has become resentful of you, where the sex has gone. And that's why it's so important that we understand this concept as to why a woman needs to work for a man and why a man needs to keep and hold his frame and who he is in his relationship. Because the more aware you are of this, well, then the more you can pass those tests, the more you can double down on who you are. And you can attract a woman into your life that is going to add to your life, and she's going to be part of your life. She's not going to try to control it, take over, and then eventually divorce or split up with you or cheat or whatever the hell that dirty stuff is. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button. I have a hard time saying that. Smash the subscribe button, like, comment, uh, drop something down below. And if you're interested in a one-on-one consultation, the link is in the description, or you can download my book, The Antidote: How to Elevate Yourself Through Dating and Relationships. Hope you have a good one. All the best.